All right, everyone, welcome back to Utmost Sincerity with Coop and Randy. We're gonna do that check-in real quick. What's going on, Randy? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
My
And,
man.
just celebrate small victories,
That's right. That's right.
How you feeling, man?
Man, you know me. Any day above ground,
Any
brother.
day above damn ground.
It's a good day.
Absolutely a good day.
All right, folks. So today, we're gonna speak on parenting, and especially being a black parent. You know, as we know, our way of coming up is different from everyone else's.
Very much. Very much.
You know, and me and Randy are both fathers. You know, and being a father during this time and age, just dealing with a lot of things. That's, you know, as far as deal with our culture, about bringing our kids up the right way, wanting them to get the best of everything. So Randy, you want to speak on it a little bit?
Yeah, man. I think this is a topic that's needed, especially from our perspective of it, and as well, we both not only do we parent, but we also co-parent.
Exactly.
And my oldest 18, 16, and daughter 11. So you got you got some months too.
Yes.
That's older than the twins.
Yes, indeed.
So it's like, man, when it comes to parenting, bro, like I think about trying not to put on my children things that I wish I would have done. You ever seen like like parents trying to live through their kids, like live their dreams through their children.
Definitely.
Like especially when it comes to like sports and things of that nature. So you got kind of like, like with me, I've been trying to catch myself. Definitely caught myself like trying not to live through my kids.
Right.
Especially like with my boys, like the school that they wanted to get into. Right. I wanted to go to city when I was younger. I wound up in Maryville. I'm glad I went to Maryville. But I wanted them to get like the high expectation of like certain grades, right?
Exactly.
And getting into grades, which is good to set expectation.
Right.
But we gotta watch how we push them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think expectations are really good, and that we should be setting them because there's more than telling our children being a football player or basketball player and stuff of that nature. We got to really give them reality. Like, like I used to tell my nephew all the time, he got his deal to go play overseas, but I used to always tell him, like, man, you got to put your work in. There's only 32 NBA teams.
Yeah.
There's only 15 spots on each team. And we have over 1,000 of, colleges and universities.
So true.
So
true.
You got to be like one of the anomalies, right?
Yeah.
So, but you also got to have a backup plan. You got to have a plan B.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, go for your dream. Never not telling you to go for your dream, but also make sure you have your backup plan.
That's true.
And so, yeah, man, like that's just one thing I think about, but also like as far as like discipline.
Yeah.
Like what's your view on like as far as from like the co-parenting aspect of it?
Like, I had the biggest thing with me was, especially with co-parenting, I always felt as though I was right and she was wrong.
Wow.
I always felt as though I was doing it the right way and she wasn't.
Yeah.
But what I didn't realize, and it had to be brought to my attention, that actually she was taking on a lot, because I thought about it, the kids would prefer majority of the time, and like sometimes when she would lash out, call me names, you ain't this, you ain't that, it was her being tired, and I get it, because I understand it was a lot, the kids with you majority of the time, the babies with you, whatever,
right.
And I ain't scared to put it out there. So I got 3 baby mothers. You know what I'm saying? My wife, and then I got 2 other ones.
Yeah.
I was with my daughter's mother. I was with her for like 10 years. My daughter's 21 and 17 now.
Mm-hmm.
I was with her like 10 years. It didn't work. It was a toxic situation.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
Me and her to this day are cool. We are able to co-parent.
That's good.
And we get along.
Yeah.
My son, I got an older son. My son is 9. He'll actually be 10 soon. And his mom, we were never in a relationship. It was more or less we were just kicking it, having a good time. Christian happened.
And things happen.
Right, Christian happened. And the situation with me and her the demographic is a little different.
Yeah, dynamics of it.
Yeah, it's not as pleasant as things. And I'm hopeful that things as time go on, things will get better.
Will get better.
And then it's it's my wife, and we got the twins.
Right.
And so just dealing with that, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's stressful sometimes, because when you trying to be the best father as you can, you feel as though you're doing things. I know you can always do things better, and I know being a father, man, it's a learning process. Daily. You learn it. So, bro, like my main thing is just being there for my kids.
So let me ask you this question: like, do you think the issues that you have with Christian's mother is based off of some type of feelings still there about it, or?
I think in the past, I think she still had feelings in the past. I think it was she still had feelings, and she and like a lot of women, hopefully they wanted things to go a certain way. And things didn't go that way. And I think it was more her anger was about that. Like, so then I think it was more or less like it was a pick. Anything I could poke at you about, I'm gonna go ahead and poke at you about it, and it was that type of thing. But I think it's like now she's past that. I think so. She's past that now, but who knows, because sometimes it could, like, actually, man, her, we hardly even holding a conversation, because my son is to the point now and I could just call him and I talk to him now. And if it's anything dealing with him medically or something like that, then, or like anything dealing with him where we have to step in and talk, then we'll talk. But, man, like,
You try not to.
Yeah, exactly. I try not to really talk to her. And I got to the point now where as though the little things she say to get under my skin, I don't pay it no mind.
Because I asked you that question because I find that in most situations that when there's children involved, that either the mother or the father have some still type of feelings about that particular partner that they had, and they try to do whatever they can, the emotions of it all, because gets involved in it instead of just thinking of it like I look at co-parenting as like you have to look at it as a business.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So when it comes to that, we have to, in mindset and hindsight, like we have to have a common goal.
Right.
The goal is our child. The goal is raising our child.
Exactly.
Right. None of the extra stuff doesn't matter. What can we do? What is best for the child?
Exactly.
Just like how you run a business, right? You have people out here that have business partners out here that they don't hang out with each other. You know, they don't spend holidays together, anything in nature.
Right.
You just my business partner.
Right.
And just to get folks to kind of like understand that mindset, it may help somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To have that mindset of like, look at it as a business partner. How can we? What do we need to do best to raise our child together?
And that's what that's all that matters, right there.
Yeah, and that should be the goal. But the emotion of who he with or who she with, why we couldn't be together, or why he couldn't be that way, or why she couldn't be that way with me, like all that stuff got to go out the window. It has to be about the child.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's like, you just gotta have like a business mindset, like all right, just like you're a store manager. You run the store Monday through Friday, and I'll do it the next week. You know what I mean? I'll do it the next Monday through Friday. And it's like, man, that's how I try to look at it. But you got to remove the emotions. But I find that you may leave no emotions involved, but the other person still got emotionally attached. And again, people dealing with their own trauma, and they may not necessarily do anything with you.
Right.
Right. It's
Right.
just dealing with their own personal trauma and demons that are going on with them.
Exactly.
That plays a role. Which again, we talked in our last one about therapy, mental health, and all
like that.
Because it will show up. And not only that, we got to understand that the stuff that we do will affect our children.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Our children see this stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they grow up that way. And I always say, man, like, for me, I think like right now, when I had my daughter, I try my best to be the best example of what a man should look like for her.
Right.
Especially like dealing with her mother, making sure that I, treat her with respect.
Right.
That, if we do need to have a tough conversation, I try to, we can have these conversations away from her.
Right.
Even if she's on the phone, she's with her or she's with me.
Exactly.
That I'll make sure that I'm not in a room where she can hear us talk about certain things, because that stuff will play in a role. And I don't want to, definitely don't want a child to pick sides, because you need both parents. At the end of the day, you raise, you need both parents.
And that was definitely the issue with me and my daughter's mother. I didn't like arguing in front of them. That's one thing I didn't want to do, but sometimes it would happen.
I was guilty of that at one point. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like I would feel so bad afterwards, and like I had my friends would always ask me, like, man, why you stand? Like, man, you need to go. And I never could give them a direct answer on why. But I knew why I would stand. I would stand because at some point in there, I was like, this is going to work. But then at another point, I knew it wasn't going to work. But I was like, I want to be here for my daughters.
Really?
Yeah. I was there for the kids. Definitely just for my daughters. That's why I kept staying.
It was fear for me.
Yeah, I could say that.
It was fear of the unknown.
You know what? And I can agree with you 100% on that, because when I did leave, and I was fed up and I was done and I rolled out, I remember going out the door, and I remember my daughters, well, not my daughters, because my youngest daughter, she was little, but my oldest daughter, she was probably, I think Tatiana was about 10, maybe about 10, and I remember her at the door, daddy, 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 and crying. Yeah. And, bro, you talking about something to tear you apart?
Yeah, that tear you apart.
That was killing me right there. Yeah. And like you said, the fear of the unknown. I've been with this woman for like 10 years. I left, and now I'm like,
gotta rebuild.
Yeah.
And,
And then I went buck wild for a minute, and then look what happened. Here come my son. so, I'm out there like, you know what, man? Look, I ain't no relationship, man.
We're protection.
Yes.
We're protection.
Yes, very, very much so. And I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna do me. And I'm out there, I'm dating, and I met my son's mother, and we was kicking it. And like me, I'm always straight up. I told her, like, look, I'm not looking for a relationship. If you want to kick it, we kick it. We have fun. She was down. She was like, okay, because I just got on one too. I said, all right, cool. And yeah. Yeah, so
we got to dive into that in the next one, because
Oh yeah.
You say that, but you know how things play out. Emotions get involved.
Oh yeah, definitely emotions get involved. Yeah,
man. So so it was like a business mindset of it, and just I can tell you with my ex, with Trinity's mother, I was definitely that way. Like I don't want to talk to her, like, because it was like you said, it would be a little jab, and I'm like, where did this come from? Like, all right, come on now, So it was really tough for a while, but now we had a really, really peaceful communication level and understanding about things, which I'm really happy with. Even like with my oldest, we had a little situation with my oldest a couple of weeks ago, and I was absolutely shocked, like, that she agreed with what I was saying.
Had to do the double take, huh?
Yeah, it was like, Like, thank you, Lord.
Right.
What just happened? You know, because it typically when it comes to him, it was
Right.
always like we always butt heads.
Yeah,
We always
yeah.
butt heads, and I'm like, and this is another thing when it comes to parenting. We have our roles.
True. That's
Like
true.
we have our roles, and knowing that was the first child,
Mm-hmm.
he's the oldest, and wanted to, you want your first child to succeed because you sacrifice so much for your first child, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's like you didn't know anything when it came to your first child, and I was just like, I see this pathway that he's going. Let me have him.
Right. Right.
Like that. Like seriously, I was like, let me have him.
Right. Exactly.
I don't need you to undermine me or disagree with me. Let me have him. Because if you don't, I know what he's going to turn out.
Right.
Because and she didn't grow up here. She didn't grow up in the city.
Right.
She was born in New York.
Okay.
And family wound up moving on the Eastern Shore. Came back over here. Went to college over here at Morgan. Shout out to Morgan. But when I saw how my son was turning out, good kid, good grades, everything, man.
Right.
But he got really defiant, like very defiant when it came to school, even inside of the house. And I'll tell you this one quick story I would tell you, and I was just like, I don't understand. Just let me have him.
Right.
Was just want to say this is probably like his 9th grade year. He went to Poly, 9th grade year Poly, and he had to go to summer school.
Right.
Right. And he used to walk around bandana on his head. He had to do summer school like Dunbar.
Mm-hmm.
And I called him one day. I was like, take that off. Don't be wearing no bandanas out of here, because we got BGF, we got Bloods, and he's going into Latrobe Project territory,
Right.
wearing this bandana, and you don't want nobody can't be mistaken who you are.
That's true.
And want to G-check you, want to check who are you, or are you false flagging?
Because they will do it.
Absolutely. So I explained all this to him. I said, don't wear it. There's no need. Just don't wear it. And he was like, all right, Daddy, cool. So I left it alone, thinking like, all right. I remember I got off one day, school police, one day summer, got off early, got home before he did. Pulled up. I got out the car. He come bopping down the street. To his little homeboys with him, bandana on his head again. I said, yo, what'd I just tell you? Give it here. Like, give it here. I told you not to wear it.
Right.
I think I punished. I was like, yo, no TV or something like that, right? And sent him in the house. I wound up leaving. I left out with something, man. And I came back home. Him and his mother was in the living room. Like, they waiting for me. I walked through the front door, and I was like, she was like, why he can't wear a bandana? Why he can't wear a bandana on his head? I'm like, because, he can be interpreted as being a gang member.
Right.
And the area that he's walking into, matter of fact, that earlier that day, like 4 people had got shot up the street somewhere from off of Fayette Street, somewhere off of, near Dunbar. And I was like, that could have been him.
Yeah.
Because that was gang related. So I said, he shouldn't be wearing it.
Right.
Well, he says he like to wear things on his head, and I don't see what the problem is. I said, you kidding me? I just explained to you that this is about his safety, and because he said he liked to wear things on his head, it's okay. Right. I said, no, ma'am, it's not. Like, he can't wear it. So I remember I walked in his room. He had like a stack of hats. I could bring the hats back in the living room. I put them down like boom. So if he like things on his head, that's what he needs to wear.
There you go.
He can wear a hat, not a bandana.
Right.
Well, he can't wear hats in school. I said he can't wear bandanas in school. Right. So it goes against the code of conduct. She swore me up and down like he can wear it and this and that. I said, are we really debating about this right now? So I took the bandana and I cut it up. I cut it up. I said, I'm going to use these to clean my shoes. So now we don't have any bandanas to wear. Oh, boy, you thought World War III broke out in the house. I can't believe you did that, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I gave you a reason why he should not be wearing it. Yeah. Are you missing the point?
That's for his safety.
bro. And I mean, it just was like, I was like, what is happening? Like, what is happening right now?
Right.
But what happened is that he understood that, you know, he knew how to manipulate both of us.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that if daddy said something, I'm gonna go to mommy.
Yep.
And I remember I used to, you know, punish him, but like, you can't watch TV or this, that, and third. And his mother was in law school, so her timing with the children, spending time with them, wasn't as much as she would like.
Right.
So she would, if she didn't have class on like a Friday evening, she'd come home or whatever, and I'll come in, everybody in the living room watching TV, and I'm like, you know, he ain't supposed to be watching TV, right?
Right.
Well, I wanted to spend time with him, and I'm like, but he's punished. Like,
Right.
What are we, like, you know, we got to be on the same accord.
Right.
So that's why I, you know, gave this quick story, because I was really, that's how, like, when it came to, like, really, like, all my children, it was kind of like this back and forth thing. And I'm like, let me have them. And I was like, and then we have to understand our roles. My role was the disciplinarian. That's just what it was.
Yeah.
You know, I was the disciplinarian. She was the nurturing, loving, you know, and not saying that I wasn't nurturing and loving,
Right.
but I knew it was difficult for her to punish. Like, you know, y'all did wrong on this, or you didn't do this.
Right.
This is the consequence for that, right? And it was always a battle. And I'm just like, you know, and honestly, I think that's what tore our relationship apart, because we could not agree on how to discipline our kids.
Right.
We set standards. Standards need to be met.
Oh yeah.
You know, and what we're teaching them when it comes to, and I'm gonna shut down for a little bit, but what we have to teach our kids is that when they step outside, when they get out there in the world ain't going sugarcoat it.
Nah, not at all.
They ain't gonna hold their hand and baby them. What I mean by, like, the world is that when they turn 18, like my oldest, he's turned 18, you're considered an adult.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Ain't no call, you know, you go to college and something going on with your classes. Ain't no mommy, they call mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
That's on you. When you gotta go ahead and go to work, you gotta go to work. When you now getting all these credit cards and you know, things that you want to get, that's on you.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else to do with that.
You're absolutely right.
You are now welcome to the world.
Yep.
And it's cruel, it's lonely out here.
But hey,
and you gotta prepare them.
Yes,
you have to
do.
teach them, and
You
just
do.
you know.
And hopefully they listen and they follow your guidance. You know, because like we talked about this before about the whole thing with college and all that stuff. Like that wasn't a big topic in my family. You know, like it wasn't something that was really pushed towards us. So when I met when I met my wife, that's when really college was a big thing. Like, you know, talk about it. I would talk about it, but it was never really a main topic. You know. So when I met her, like she a UVA alumni, you know, so, you know, just talking to her, you know, things like it really pushed, you know, she was like, you know, your girl's about to graduate, you know, well, my oldest is about to graduate.
Yeah.
She was like, you know, that's something you should really be pushing. I was like, yeah, that's true. So I pushed. So I got with my oldest, and that's where I go to when you don't have two parents on the same level, you know. So
same understanding.
There you go, the same understanding. Yeah,
said it like that.
Yeah, but the same understanding, you know. My oldest, you know, I said, what schools you want to go to? You know, she was like, I want to go visit Stevenson and Bowie. And I was like, okay, cool. So we went to visit Stevenson. We did the whole tour. Then we went to Bowie. She liked Bowie. I was like, yeah. I think this would be a good fit for you. You know, HBCU, you know, it's a good fit. You know, I know people that went here, you know, and then it worked out even more because my cousin Alvin was an alumni there. Like, he went there back in the day. So he was still like on the board of education there and everything. So I talked to him, and he was like, man, he said, oh yeah, she gonna go ahead, let me know so I can make sure I have everything in line for her. So bro, it was like everything was lined up for her. All she had to do is go. Yeah. So I gave her the money for her, I think it was like the room and board or something like that they had to do, like some type of room and board. They had to pay for that, you know. So I gave her the money for it. I said, TT, don't forget, you gotta pay for this. Make sure you pay for it. You know, she was like, okay, Dad, make sure I do it, this and that. She ain't pay for it. I said, what happened to the money? Oh, Dad, I use the money for prom, but I still got time. On paper, I said, TT, do you hear what you're saying? I said, you're talking about prom because she wanted to rent a car. She wanted to drive a car.
Wow.
So I'm like, and I'm pissed. I'm heated because I'm like, TT, you need to take that money and put it towards your room so where you can have, residency, somewhere to stay. And she was like, I know, Dad, but I'm gonna get the money. Grandma gonna give me the money. Talking about her grandmother on her mother's side. I said, all right, cool. So I'm like, you still should have paid for it. So prom time come around, and I'm trying to explain to her that you don't need to rent a car to go to prom.
You don't?
No one's gonna see your car. It's one night. It's one night.
Yeah.
No one's gonna see your car. So we get to her prom, and we all out there. We standing there, we waiting, and I see kids pull up. Kids pulling up. One kid pull up in a work truck. His parents drop him off in a work truck, bro. He gets out. Other kids pull up and all get out of limo. So they all put money in together for the limo, right? I see this young black kid pull up. He's in a Bentley. And I'm like, why?
Wow.
He's not even driving it. I'm like, why, bro? Like, no one's outside to see this. He goes in the prom. My daughter and them pull up. She's in a Maxima, a Nissan Maxima, with a homegirl. They had to park around the back because there was no parking up front because you can't just get out your car right there. And she walks up. She looked real pretty. She got her dress on. I like, you look beautiful, baby. This and that. Give her a hug. Everybody hug her. She goes inside. It comes back to the time. It's time for college. I'm like, okay, so they're going to pay for it. So her grandmother and her mother hit me with, don't worry about it because we got her. She got time. I said, okay. She got time. People hating on my granddaughter. What?
People hating on my granddaughter.
Yeah. And I think that was a shot towards my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Like, if anything, she the one trying to help her.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. I fell back. I said, TT, listen to me. If this is what you going to go by, you're set up for failure. I said, I'm telling you now, you're set up for failure. I was like, but it's on you. It's on you. Needless to say, she never went to Bowie. She ended up going to BC. No, not BCCC. She went to CCBC. And she went there for like 2 semesters or whatever, and she's supposed to be going back. But I'm like, dude, you could have been just about done.
You could have been, yeah.
You could have been just about done.
And that leads me into like, when we talk about, we got to teach our kids failure.
Yes.
Right. We gotta teach them, not to be afraid to fail.
Right.
But we as parents, we gotta allow them to fail at some stuff.
Oh yeah.
So they can get their mind right because they don't listen.
Nope.
And that's the tough part as a parent, right? Is that no one wants us to fail up, have our children fail.
Right.
But failure is a part of it because it's like, it's not that you want to be like, I told you so.
Right. Right.
But it's like, listen to me. I've been through this.
Yeah.
We know people that been through this. Just listen to me.
That's it.
So that's why I feel like, I don't know, but how this really, but yeah, like failure.
Yeah.
Like you gotta let them to fail.
You have to, bro. You have to. And
you can't save them all the time.
You can't.
Because we're setting up again, like when they become adults.
Yep.
You can't have this well, daddy's gonna help me out. Mommy, she got me.
Yep.
They're gonna make sure I'm good. Nah, you got to figure that one out on your own.
Got to. And that was one of my issues, man. By my kids not living with me, I always felt as though when they would come over, I shouldn't tell them they're doing something wrong, or you're doing this wrong, or you're doing that wrong, because I think it was like a guilt that I had on me when I shouldn't have had it. But I felt like I left them, and I kind of. Cause
you wanted to be the good parent.
Exactly.
You wanted to look like,
Exactly. Like I'm always, you good, this and that, and that's a handicap for your kids, and I'll tell any parent out there, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And I had to, once again, my wife, she had to bring to my attention. She like, hey, you can't do that. You got to tell them what's right and what's wrong. I mean, you have to. If you see your daughter's wearing something that you don't agree with, you got to tell them. She said you got to let them know. Because I know if I see it, then you see it.
So yeah. So it was like, speaking on what you were saying, it's like, you can't be afraid of the, I think that's a lot of things we do. We compete.
Yep.
With the other parent.
Yeah.
Like we try to compete of being like, I'm the good parent.
Yeah.
I'm the great parent. That's the bad parent. We subconsciously, we really do it.
Right.
Do it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
we have to like work out of that and understand like, nah, I'm gonna be me.
Right.
So, like I had this discussion, this situation where, when it came to my daughter about, about something how she felt. Like she felt a certain way, about my oldest and his friends coming over the house. She felt the way about it. And I wound up telling her mom, like, this is what Trinity said. Trinity told me this.
Right.
What her rebuttal was Trinity talked to me all the time. She didn't say nothing to me like that.
Oh, deja vu, bro.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine that she talked to you, but
Right.
she told, this is what she said to me. I asked her directly, like, this is what she said to me.
Right.
And this is enough, like, because she feels a certain way at being 11 and a girl. We should do something about this because she came to me about it.
Right.
Well, I don't know about that because I said, whoa, why are we deflecting?
Right.
Why are we deflecting? She got mad, hung the phone up on me. Click.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, all right, okay. But again, it wasn't no emotions in it. So I took it out. I sent her a text like, hey, like we really need to finish this conversation.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to offend you if I did, but please call me back.
Right.
Like, and I just left it at that.
Yeah.
But that like, there's always going to be a kid feeling comfortable being more sharing than anything. Like, that's just, even with me. Like, I would definitely share more with my mother than I would with my father.
Right. Right.
Yeah, at a heartbeat. But there's some things that I'm not sharing to neither parent.
Exactly. That you just gonna keep to yourself. You like, I'm gonna keep this to myself.
I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Yeah.
I ain't let you know what I was doing at the top of 8th grade in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
When everybody went to work. Like, nah.
Yeah, like, nah, you don't need to know that, Mom.
So
you don't need to know that.
we have to understand, like, our kids, and that goes to like independence, right? I believe your children should have some independence.
Yeah, yeah.
A little privacy.
Definitely. Definitely.
But I do go through cell phones.
Oh, yeah.
I go through phones.
yeah.
I check messages.
Oh, bro, I'm on their little GPS. You go on iPhone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You see the location.
Where they at,
I
location.
know where they at all times.
Bro, on this phone, I was talking to Jason's mother earlier, and on his phone, I can see what he's on. I can control when he gets on Instagram or. Like, I block it out. Like, all right, from this time, from that time, you ain't on that. Because I know you're supposed to be doing your schoolwork.
Yeah, yep.
So there's no reason for you to go on there. But, yeah, I would go in there and I would check. Hey, let me see your phone. Phone check. Huh. That's what y'all be talking about, huh? If it's something like just straight boy stuff, all right.
Yeah.
It's boys going to be, that's what they into.
Right.
But if I see something out the way, like, I'm checking that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with Trinity, I go through her phone. I'm looking like, all right, who's this person? Who's this person? Who's that person? Yeah, I think, like you were just saying, like, I think failure should happen.
Yeah.
You should let them. You have to let them fail at something to kind of get a sense of urgency about themselves.
Yes.
Of saying, okay, what can I do not to repeat this?
Right.
Or now that I see. They always, like with me, with my father used to always talk about stuff, man. And I used to be like,
Yep. Same way with me, man. Like, you like, oh, I don't feel like hearing this right now.
I was like, yeah. I'm like, all right, Pop. Yep. Yeah. Watch out for that one. Yeah. All right. I got you. Yeah. All right, Pop. Can I hold the car?
Yeah.
Right.
Can I go?
And then when I got older, me and my older brother, we when we got older, we had this conversation, and we was like, we understood. Like, we understood exactly what he was saying, what he was doing. And again, it may not have been the right things,
right?
But we understood.
Exactly.
And we went to him. We thanked him. We was like, yeah, we understand what you were doing. What you was trying to do for us. We get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not concerned because one day they'll get it.
Yeah.
They'll definitely get it and they'll understand. And yeah, but like right now, I'm having this issue with this virtual learning.
Yeah.
With Jason, man.
Yeah, this virtual learning, man. It's I don't think it's really a good idea because kids can't really stay focused. It's different than a classroom. Like, when they're in a classroom, you have no other choice but to be focused. You got a teacher right there in your face. you know, and they actually right there teaching you what's going on. When you at home, you sitting behind a computer, you like, man, I don't even feel like doing this anymore. All right, let me go over and do this, because you got everything at your disposal right there. You can get up, you go play your game, you go get on your phone while you still looking at the thing. You be on your phone like this, you know. This whole virtual thing, man, virtual learning thing. I know COVID done messed up a lot, so kids can't be in school, but
they missing that social aspect of it. Just
they just being around their friends, and like this generation already have a hard enough time dealing with being social anyway. You know, everything is text now for them, so missing that social time with their friends, just being around other people. Yeah, it's just adding to it.
Yeah,
you know. So.
Yeah, shout out to the teachers though. I know it's tough.
Oh yeah, that's a tough job right there.
Yeah.
Definitely shout out to them.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, what you think about when it comes to it, when we talk about parenting? You know, like you have older children, I have older children. Like, you know, what about the importance of like having good relationships with, like, you see who they hang out with, right? You kind of like follow their peers and see who is what. Like, how do you think you implement, you know, good relationships, or how do you, let me reframe this question, like how do you think you establish or let them know what is a good relationship?
The good thing is, well, my oldest daughter, she's the main one who really, she has like a lot of friends. You know, she got a lot of girlfriends and like homeboys and all this stuff. And my youngest daughter, she's more of an introvert. You know, she kind of to herself. You know, she got like maybe 2 little girlfriends that she's cool with. That she'll talk on the phone and stuff, and they may hang out here and there. But she's not big on the whole social scene like that. And I don't know, it may change as she get older.
Yeah.
And the boys, you know, they still little, so it really, you know, really not. They not doing it. They each other.
They fighting.
Yeah,
they fighting each other.
Exactly. They're like, look, we ain't worried about anyone else. We gonna deal with each other. But my oldest daughter, I remember when she was no more than about 8, maybe about 8 years old, and I used to talk to her, and she was like she had this little girl that was her friend, and one day she came to me, she said, "Daddy, I'm not Tiana's friend anymore." I was like, "Why?" And she was like, she's just a bad girl. She's just a bad girl. I can't be her friend anymore. And like she distanced herself from her as a little kid. As now she's older, and I also tell her, you know, you gotta make good judgment on your friends. I was like, 'cause not everyone that says you're their friend, they're not really your friend. You know, I was like, you got some people just don't have your best interests at heart. You know, you know, you'll go somewhere, and that very person who you think is your friend and got your back be standing in the background just mean mugging you because they jealous.
They jealous of you.
You know, they you know, they mad because of all the attention that you're getting. And she was like, "Yeah, I know, Daddy, I know." And for the most part, like her core of girlfriends that she hang with, I know them. I know them. I know them actually too. For a long time, like since she was a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of them are new, but I know them for a nice amount of time. She always introduced me, and they always call me Dad. Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Dad. And all this and everything like that. So that's cool. You know, and I talk to my kids straight up. You know, I feel as though you can't sugarcoat things with kids. You know, you can't be like, oh, well, the birds and the bees they buzz and the birds flap their wings. Nah, look, you gotta give them like sure enough the meat and potatoes of everything.
There's a man with a penis.
Exactly.
There's a woman with a vagina.
And this is what happened when it comes together. Okay, you know, and like I schooled my daughter. I schooled her on like
That's the
players.
thing.
You know, just telling them like how guys can be, like how you got to be careful with dealing with certain guys. Like, a guy could show you that he's a real nice guy or not. You know, like in the beginning.
Yeah.
I said then you'll start to see those
them
signs. You know what I said? You gotta know and you gotta look for it. You know.
Wait, them red flag, baby.
Like you see him doing this with that flag. You know, you look, hey, time for me to step off.
Believe it.
Yeah, and she's pretty good with, you know, judging character and everything. You know, sometimes she, just like any young adult, they go and stray. You know, and you and hopefully you catch it, and you gotta wheel them back in. Like, hey, what you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and I done told her a couple times, like, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You being stupid.
Yeah.
You know, hey, what you mean? You being stupid. I taught you better than that.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing is dumb. You know, she's like, yeah, I know. And she'll get it together. Or at least she tell me she got it together.
Yeah.
You know.
Those relationships, man, like I look at that, like the father-daughter relationship and the son-mother, right? Because the daughters are going to look for a man that's like their father.
Absolutely.
Right. So, and just like the son will look for a woman that's like his mother.
Yeah.
You know, so if your mother, like my mother, she cooks every day. When I was a child, my mother cooked. She always, even though she worked 3 to 11, dinner was done.
Right.
By the time I got home from school, it was something on the table. It was something on the stove ready to eat. Right. So when I got older, and I was like, all right, you don't cook every day. You know, my mother, she cook every day. And, you know, she ain't make no, you know, and that was because I was looking for somebody that gave me that motherly, like, it's weird, but
no, but it's true.
Real,
it's true. Yeah, it's true. I mean, that's what us as men, we look for when we have that dynamic with our mothers. You look for sometimes even features. You know, you look for that in the woman that you're gonna court, that you're gonna be with. You know. So, you know, that is so true. That's definitely
But it's
true.
very dangerous, right? And I see this a lot with black mothers, especially black single mothers, when it comes to their sons. They treat them like their boyfriends.
They do. Yes. I was great to say that. Yep.
They treat them like their boyfriends. And when you do that, you're creating a monster.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're going to create somebody that's going to be dependent on a woman, and that's why I used to always say, I keep talking about when it came to my oldest, I see him being dependent, on a woman, because his mother used to always take up for him when he was wrong. She, would still do. Like, I remember one of his junior inauguration, something about his junior. And I was like, nah, he can't go. I'm not paying no money for it. I'm not giving him nothing. Mommy came in and say today.
Wow.
You know, we got him some clothes. So what that's going to create is, when he gets out there, he's going to go leech off a woman.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's going to leech off a woman with low self-esteem. And probably, I'm not saying that he is, but, not just my son, but others. I've watched friends.
Yeah.
Even friends that I have or had growing up are leeches. They will leech off of women because of their relationships that they had with their mother, where their mother just gave them everything and never let them work for it, and treated them like boyfriends. And you can't do that. So when I be talking about let me have them, that's why it's so important. Even in today's society, even if the father's not present, if you're an uncle, it's very important to know that you may have a nephew that father's not in his life.
Exactly.
The mothers feel like they got to overcompensate because she's the only parent. So she got to play that role of, I'm doing it all. I'm mommy and daddy. But you got to step in, because you're going to create a month. And I think that's what a lot of issues that we have here in Baltimore. Is we have all these dudes out here. Yeah. Like, bro, go be a go-getter. Yeah. You can stand up in the corner, bro, Yeah. Yeah. We be in Harbor House. These dudes be still 4 or 5 in the morning, like, yo.
But and that's what I was going to get to. Like these grown men, like, they'll get caught up and get arrested. And what's the first thing they say? Yo, call my mother.
Call my mother.
What? Call your mother?
Call my mother. call my grandmother.
Yeah, I'm like, man, hold up, wait a minute, bro. You like 30 years old.
Yeah.
Why you want somebody to call your mother? Yeah. What I'm gonna do that? Man, I'm just saying. Hey, look up. Yo, make sure you call her. And then again, get me when they be on the phone with them, and they be like, "Mom, Mom," and I'm like, you're a grown man. Not call my lawyer or call my homeboy. Call my mother.
Call my mother.
Come on, man. Like, really? Like,
that's the savior.
Yeah. But bro, you absolutely right when they say mothers. A lot of mothers, they have to get away from treating their sons like their boyfriends, because I will never forget when I was a sheriff and I'm down juvenile justice, and I'm on the elevator with this mother and this son, and the son couldn't be no more than about 13, and the mother says to him, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe they locked you up for only 10 dopes." What? Only wait a minute. First of all, man, your son was caught selling drugs, and you talking about they only. I said, let that have been my mother.
Yeah.
Bro, oh my God. I don't think I would have made it to court. I would have been wanting the police to lock me up.
Yeah.
You know? It
Yeah.
needs to say I don't want my father to get to me.
Yeah, that was the thing. My mother, see, and that was another dynamic. You know, like I said, I was blessed to grow up in a household for a substantial amount of time, and my childhood to about 16, 15, 16, with both of my parents.
Yeah.
And, you know, my mother used to be like, wait till your father get home.
Yo.
She like, that's what I say. Like, when we talk about play our roles,
Yeah.
my mother played that role.
Exactly.
My mother,
Exactly.
you know, I remember I only got my butt whipped by my mother probably like twice in my whole lifetime.
Right.
And you know, one of them was one of those butt whoopings you'll never forget. I never forget that butt whoop my mother gave me because I was disrespectful. I pissed her off. But it was always like, all right, wait till your father get home.
Yep.
She knew the role.
Yeah,
She was just
yeah.
like, all right, I'm letting your father know this is what you did. And bro, the anticipation, I'm like,
You like,
man,
man,
I want to go to sleep. I'm going to sleep.
And like you,
I'm gonna
like,
go
you,
sleep
like
before he
hopefully he
get-
won't wake me up.
Nah,
He gonna wake you up.
Reggie came in and get up.
And that's how it was. My mom and pops, like they were together until I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And then they went their ways. But like they were both there my years coming up, you know. And like you said, the mothers knew their role. So my mother, she was the nurturer. She was the one. I mean, she would be a disciplinarian every now and then, but my father was a disciplinarian, you know. And my mom, she was always the nurturer.
And she
like,
backed
you know.
them.
Exactly.
It wasn't no division.
It was
They
never.
they might have went off in the room and may have talked about
Right.
it, but they was a united front. It wasn't no I'd be looking like, Ma, help me.
Right.
Nah, you got yourself.
Yeah. It's like
did that.
like you did this, so you know what? Yeah, you got to deal with the
You
consequences.
gotta deal with 'em.
You know, and that's what and that's how things really need to get back to. That's why when I hear guys, sometimes when I see two women together, and they'll be like, "Oh, we both got children by him," but we don't beef with each other because sometimes I be, you know, and we see it a lot, you know, and when you ask a woman or you ask a guy like, "Man, why you beefing with him? Like, what's the issue?" "Man, I just don't like him."
Why?
"Because he got a baby by my baby." Who cares? Okay.
They got the emotion. Like, let that go. And that's what I'm talking about. You gotta let the emotion side go.
Right.
You can't be worried about who they doing with, who
Exactly.
they sleeping with, who they with now. You know, if you with her, is she still worrying about him? And let that
Exactly.
go, bro. Because the people gonna do what they
They
want to do.
All you need to worry about is this dude or is this woman respecting my child?
That's it.
You know, that's
That's
all
it.
you need to worry about. And even when it get to the point where as though your child is there and your child is being disrespectful, and a guy may say to the mother, "Hey, he being disrespectful," you know, or tell a child, "You shouldn't do that. You being disrespectful." Because kids will try to play that too.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll come to the dad, "Hey, daddy, guess what? So and so told me to stop saying something." And you got some fathers and the kids will play on that.
Play on that.
What? He told you what? Not even listening to the fact that
They just trying to gotta prove something.
exactly
Bro.
your child was being disrespectful.
And that's why, like, it has to be. You have to be like, even like whoever, you know, if my ex, if she's dating, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be on a united front with
Yeah.
whoever, you know. Like, I want to meet him. Let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a conversation. Like, it should be weird that me and him, you know,
Yeah.
are like this because, you know, you're going to be now a part of my child's life.
Exactly.
And you're going to be part of this, but we're going to have to be a team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, it's still a business model.
Right.
And we ain't got to hang out. We ain't got to
Nah.
be buddies. We ain't got to be, you know, hey, man, what you doing on Friday? Let's go have a drink.
Right. None of that. Yeah.
We just going to be on a united front that we all talk. So this child knows ain't no manipulation going on.
Exactly.
We all are in this to raise you together.
I
we
can't
all
get over
playing
for
a role.
nothing. You know? And that's where it goes back to it take a village to raise a child.
Raise a child.
You
Yep.
know, and they didn't and society today has gotten away from that. You know, everyone wants to do their individual thing, you know, but when it comes to children, man, and raising the child to go in the right direction, it has to be a team effort.
It has to be a team.
You know, it has to be a team effort. It has to be the next door neighbor, Miss Janie. She out there and she see back in the day. You know how it was. They see you out there acting up. Guess what? They gonna go over there and tell your mother. You like, oh man, you knew not to walk past Miss Janie's door and act up because you know if you did, what was gonna happen? You know, it's gonna get back to your mother and father.
I remember when I was younger, Miss Tina, she had permission to beat us.
Yeah,
Miss Tina had permission to beat us.
bro.
Next door neighbor. Miss Tina saw us out there doing something wrong. Oh yeah.
You getting popped. You getting popped.
Yeah, so yeah, man, we you know and that's like something that needs to have, you know, then like when you come to chastising, like there's people that will come and chastise your child and be like, you can't say that to my no.
Right.
You have to understand what is going on, you know, especially like in school, bro.
Yeah, man. It's
The teacher can't say nothing wrong about your child. I'm like,
parents ready to go off, you know, and you know, and shout out to the parents who are understanding and actually sit there and listen to the whole situation and not just take their child side, you know, because we have a lot of parents out there that just want to take their child side.
you know your children.
Yeah.
We know our children. We
Oh,
know
yeah.
when they lying. You know when they telling the stories.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And you know,
about
be
it.
like, yeah, he did that. She did that.
You definitely do, bro. You definitely do, bro. Man, I tell you, bro. But one more thing I want to get away from, because earlier when I said baby mothers, I don't like that term. I think that's a
I say child's
stereotypical.
mother.
Yeah, I think it's a stereotypical term, especially in the black community, and I don't like it. I always usually say my child's mothers, but you know,
Yeah.
that kind of just rolled off the tongue. But
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. But you know, as we starting to close down, I think when spend time with your children.
Yes.
As much time as you possibly
much
can.
as you can. Yeah.
Like quality time, and it's not about the quantity of the time, but it's about the quality.
Yes.
And especially when I now that I'm in a dynamic where, you know, especially with my daughter, I share weeks with her, that I make sure that I spend really good quality time with her. Like we watch wrestling, you know, Jason, you know, same thing. You know, we'll shoot the breeze. We talk about stuff.
Right.
But I make sure that we try to go do something.
Right.
Whether it be like we going out to eat.
Yeah.
You know, prior to the COVID, you know, you can guarantee we were going to the movies. We was doing something.
Right.
You know, summer vacations. Like we had all this stuff planned out, that really good quality time together, just spending time with each other and loving and caring.
Yeah.
You know,
no doubt.
Because you know, you can spend time with your children,
Yeah.
but what are you really doing?
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
if you ain't paying them no mind, if you sitting on your
on
phone,
your phone, right?
you know,
right.
you sitting on the phone, or even if you taking them somewhere, you taking them to places where, you know,
You really don't got to interact with them.
not only to interact with them, but it's benefiting you, not the child.
Yeah.
What is the child getting at? You know, I'm spending time. You know, we do this and the third. You did that.
Yeah.
You just took them along. You know.
And also to the fathers, man, like don't always think that when you go to see your child, you have to buy something. You have to buy them something, because I'm gonna tell you, a child really, they just want to spend time with you. They can care less about a toy. They can care less about a new outfit or whatever. If you take your child and just go to the park and grab a ball and toss the ball back and forth and hold on a conversation, you will be surprised how that will stick with them more than you brought a new iPhone, or you brought some type of new game system for them.
That stuff, all that stuff fade away.
Yeah,
man.
it fades away, and then they want something new.
They want something new.
But that time at the park will be something they will talk about years to come as they become grown. Hey, I remember that time me and my dad was at the park and this happened.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what they're gonna remember.
Like hobbies, like always, and learn what their hobbies are. What do they like to do, and try to engage in what their hobbies are.
Definitely.
That's a way to connect with your children. If learning what their hobbies are, you know, what do they like to do, or you know, and spending time with them during the course of their hobbies. You know, you know, just you know, man. So it's like we have to. It's no perfect book to parenting. You know, there's no hangout. People can put that stuff out all the time.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not.
You
not
know,
at all.
you just have to. I always say, I say it like this: be the parent that you needed as a child.
There you go. Perfect. That's perfect. Perfect way to put it. Yes.
That's it. Just
Yeah.
be the parent that you needed as a child. And
That
if
is-
you would be the parent that you know what you needed as a child.
Right.
Now that you're an adult, be that for your children.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
I agree with you 100% on that. Definitely.
Yeah, so we thank y'all for checking in with us. You know, we had some things that transpired. You know, so we're glad to be back with you guys. But
Definitely.
we're here. You know, our families come first. So
Yeah,
if you don't
all the
hear us,
time.
we definitely making sure that our families are good and number one.
That's right.
But we do appreciate you guys, and we love y'all for just checking us out and the love that y'all have been giving us here at the Utmost Sincerity Podcast. Cool.
Hey, till the next time, y'all have a blessed and wonderful week, day, weekend, all that good stuff. Take the kids out, get all that Halloween candy, trick or treating.
That's right. We'll see y'all on the next one.
All
Appreciate
right
it.
now, take it easy.